I have known I wanted to be an attorney for basically my entire life. But when I went to law school, I had every intention of being a litigator. I was a huge mock trial nerd, very competitive in that, all throughout. And then I got my license and started practicing, even in law school, right? That practice license. Got that license and started practicing, and very quickly realized that I actually hated litigation. Very quickly, I figured out that I was not going to be happy doing that. And so, kind of had an identity crisis, did some big firm jobs where I was doing primarily transactional stuff and just did not like any of it. And so really questioned whether I even wanted to be an attorney, thought I might just use the JD advantage, and was searching ways that I could use my license and actually like love my life and career. And that's how I found NLBM, right? So I actually found the new law process while still in school. And just, loved the idea of this practice model and how you could serve people. And it just really felt like it clicked with everything that I wanted to do and everything as an attorney was the goal for me. And so I, talked to my family and made the decision actually going into my last year of law school that post graduation, I was not going to apply to any of those big jobs because I knew if I got an offer, I'd take it. So I decided that post graduation, I would take the bar exam, and as soon as I finished the bar exam, go through the NLBM bootcamp, and launch my practice as soon as possible after. And that's exactly what I did. Thank God. And up until the NLBM process, my estate planning knowledge stopped at a single wills and trust class. Which was basically just terminology largely and more about probate than the actual documents, honestly. So very little, if to no, training in estate planning. And the NLBM program did a beautiful job of teaching not only like what you need to know to be able to provide this service to clients, but also how to offer those services in a way that your plans will actually work, which I don't think I even realized what a differentiator that was. But it truly is when you're, looking at other plans all the time that wouldn't have worked if they had died or become incapacitated in that moment. I started, right, fresh baby lawyer out of law school, and my big goal, right, was to serve 4 clients a month on a consistent basis. And thank God for the support system that I had. Because, I basically talked to my family and said, I want to give this, a year. Like, I'm going to give everything I have to this for a year and see what happens. And within the first month, right, we were profitable. And I thought, oh my God, this is working. We hit that goal of 4 clients a month extremely quickly. Now, at that time, I was only offering foundational estate planning. At the beginning, I thought like, oh, is there a need? There is such a need. And like, even though that now that we offer more than the foundational things, I would still say like 2/3 of my planning is foundational planning, right? Which is what I learned from the get-go with NLBM. So yeah, we were profitable almost immediately. And within 3 months, we were hitting those initial goals consistently, very quickly increased to 6 clients per month. And as a solo practitioner, that was like tapping me out. I was like, that was all the time that I have. So we had to start looking into other ways to grow so we could serve more people. But just like number wise, kind of what we saw, right, was in the first year being open. In this first year, I was 100% solo. We had $106,000 of revenue that year, which just blew me away, right? Like, I thought year one, if I have any profit, like, that would be great. But totally blown away by that. By our second year in business, we were at 218,000. So doubled. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now, at that point, I did have a team helping me. And then this year, we're on track to, at the end of the year, hit our goal of 480,000. The goal has somewhat, almost arbitrarily, I set it after the first year where I wanted to double revenue every year. But we're doing it. And so it's been incredible from obviously a financial perspective for my family and like life. But I think one of the best things about the way this program works is that I actually get to enjoy my life and have a family and not be stressed out all the time. Like, those are just as big benefits for me as like the financial metrics. We had a beautiful plan in place, right? We're planning attorneys. And then my baby just shot those all to pieces. I went 5 weeks early. I had to have an emergency C-section. Was in the NICU for almost 2 weeks, just very, very unplanned. And so we were able to pivot, right? Um, so that initial contact, because it was so um, shocking. Basically, I sent a text to Leah that said, I'm going into emergency surgery. And one of the PFL things that's taught, right, is to have a successor attorney in place. I have a beautiful successor attorney who we had talked to. She knew that she needed to be available. And when this emergency happened, she was able to step in and work with Leah directly to get like immediate attorney things handled. Once that emergency period was over, we had a plan in place where basically what we did was my client service director once a week would send me here's a weekly recap of where everything is, here's what's happening next. And all I would do during that 2-month period is if there was a plan that needed to be reviewed prior to signing, I would review that plan. But I had no virtual appointments. I was spending, I almost want to say less than an hour a day, but it was truly less than an hour a day doing anything work related. And it was all in a structured time period too. There wasn't any like drop the phone emergencies. You need to handle this right now. It was all like, hey, mama, when you have time, here's an email to follow up on. We had some questions, which was great. And the weekly check ins were honestly just for my peace of mind because I was so hands off. I was like, is everything okay? And it was. So my interaction was very, very limited. And we had a plan in place that when I came back, hit the ground running. And, it was not something that as a business owner, I was like, oh, we're never going to recover. This was impossible. Like, it was great. So great. I'm doing it again. We're expecting our second baby. And it's supposed to be December. It'll probably be November. So we're gearing up to do, maternity leave number 2 in a very short amount of time. And I'm incredibly fortunate to be able to do that. Making the jump into the program, and again, the business plan is there. You just edit it per, your unique scenario. Cause I think that's really important too, is like, you guys do such a wonderful job of teaching the framework and teaching what you know to be successful, but it is unique. Like it is, our business and we get to grow it how we want to. And so being able to create that business plan and go confidently into meeting with bankers, and, being able to talk to them about the importance of this type of law and the change it can make within our community. I was able to go with that business plan and really just that business plan alone. I'd never even taken out a loan for a car. I never had a credit card. Literally all I had was student loans. Didn't own a home or anything and was able to go in and get a more than what I was asking for line of credit to be able to start the practice, right? To have some of those systems in place and to invest in things that needed to be in place prior to ever serving clients. And having that there as kind of a fail safe gave me the confidence to go out and try things, right? Confidently and know if it doesn't work, it's okay. I was very fortunate though that it always worked. We were able to engage clients almost immediately, but I don't think it wouldn't have been feasible for me without having that access to credit, especially in the beginning before we were taking clients. And then having it there and growing it, as the business has grown, has just been huge strategically for us, right? And even on that maternity leave, I was able to step back and know, like, we had a plan, but obviously things don't go as planned. I knew I had access to that capital if needed. We were very fortunate that we didn't need it through our maternity leave, but it was there. I think, how to fund a business and be able to facilitate all those things is the huge first step and is something that this program does a wonderful job of teaching you with no background at all. Yeah, I mean, if you have questions or reservations, I would say the very first place is to start is just call, right? That's the very first thing that I did when I heard about the program. I booked a call and just said, hey, this is what my life looks like. Is this realistic for me? And was able to get all of those questions answered. And I did that. They probably laughed at me. I did it so early. I was like just finishing my second year of law school and I was like, am I a good fit? Based on that phone call, made the decision, to my last year of law school, that was the plan. And I was building towards doing that successfully. So I would say my word of advice is just to take the first step. If you're curious, be curious and get the answers to your questions. I am so incredibly grateful for this program. And I do not think that I would have the life that I have now without it. And I feel incredibly fortunate to work with you all and receive the support from NLBM and the PFL family.